Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Got a new Cardfight Vanguard video for you guys today, and I'm really excited to do this one today. So if you guys saw my episode breakdown of episode 10 and 11 that I came up with yesterday, I was saying that we were going to do this deck today, and man, this deck is way cooler than I thought it was going to be. So this is our deck for our Faded One of Time, Liael Amorta, and this card is bonkers. If you guys have never seen one of my deck videos, we threw a build together on Cardfight area. We're going to go through the new cards real quick, just for anybody that didn't see the live stream or doesn't know what these cards do yet. We could talk about the deck that we threw together. Then we're going to go jump into a game and try to get a W. So, if you guys enjoy this kind of content, drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Let's jump in and check it out. Alright, up first we've got Prayer of the Oliphant Bellanista. I'm pretty sure that might be a mistranslation because all the other cards in the ride line are players, because it's supposed to be the instruments, but that's not here nor there. This is our generic starter. When wrote upon, if you went second, draw a card. Grade 1, Player of the Lovely Harp, Adorphus. You know, adore like love. When this unit is wrote upon by a player of the beautiful chord, this is the name I'm going to butcher over and over again, Elegenia. So last one, draw 2 cards, choose up to 1 normal unit from your hand, discard it. If you did not discard a normal unit, choose 2 cards from hand and discard them. This is basically going to always go off. You basically draw 2, discard 1. The chances of you not having a normal unit, having been through your 5 cards in hand, your draw for turn, if you went second, you draw off your starter, and then another draw 2, very limited. But this is basically her version of Rancor Chain. I believe it was the Stoicia one, the one for Zorga, that lets you draw 2 and discard an order. Player of the Beautiful Chord, Elegenia. When this unit is wrote upon by a grade 3 card with Liael in its card name, choose any number of your normal units from your drop, put them on the bottom of your deck in any order, and if you chose 3 or more, draw a card. Super easy to get off. You can also choose your ride line cards, but they would go back to the ride deck, which can be a little unfortunate, but it's also why we're not running the cat. And then we got the Missy herself, Faded One of Time, Liael Amorta. When this unit attacks, counterblast 1, choose one of your rear guards, bind it, search your deck for up to 1 card with the same card name as that unit, call it to rear guard and shuffle the deck. It's an automatic extra attack for a counterblast 1. Already good. This second skill, I'm going to save the second skill for last. We're going to go straight to the Divine skill, because the first skill and the Divine skill are the ones that were used in the anime. Divine skill, Auto Vanguard. At the end of the battle, this unit attacked. If your opponent is grade 3 or greater, choose a card with the same name as this unit from your drop and ride it as stand. If you rode, that unit gets -1 drive until end of turn. So, when I first saw this skill, I thought it was pretty lackluster until it eventually clicked for me. With the first skill together, you can actually chain attacks together and get, I want to say 5 attacks just off her and 1 other rear guard. 6 if you have a second rear guard, because you go rear guard, her, call out a new rear guard, her, call out a new rear guard, and swing with the rear guard. And then I saw her third skill. This third skill is probably going to be how the main character wins, but when this card is placed on Guardian Circle, discard a card from your hand, put 2 cards from your bind zone to the bottom of your deck in any order, choose one of your units with Faded 1 in its card name, and it cannot be hit until the end of that battle. Cool thing about that skill is that skill can work for her, or it can work for Liael. It's also a way to get your bound cards back into the deck. So there's so much recursion in this deck to keep on using her first skill to keep on getting extra attacks. It flows together really well. Onto the trigger lineup, we went with heals, 3 fronts, 8 critical, and Valna as our over trigger. The reason we went with fronts instead of draws, while this deck does have a lot of combo pieces, it actually has a lot of draw power built into it, and you'll see as we go through the card support. And then we went with Valna. While we can use the Keter over trigger to get extra drives, it's a little harder to max out on that, especially since we're not playing a bunch of grade 3 rear guards that we want to throw out. Where Valna is always good as long as we get it, because we're always going to have rear guards on the field when you're playing a Keter Sanctuary deck. And we already have a maximum of a 6 attack turn. This now gives us an additional attack. Alright, first card that we're throwing in, this one is a tech. Auto Rear Guard Circle. When your Vanguard is attacked, counterblast 1, retire this unit, choose a face-up card in your damage zone, call it to Guardian Circle, and put the top card of your deck into your damage zone face-up. First off, if you enjoy Angel Feather, we have an Angel Feather card here. That's basically what it does. But being able to guard from your damage zone, this deck plays 7 perfect guards. 7. 8 if you're playing her and Liael, because every copy of her can be used as a perfect guard, and of course your actual perfect guards. The only one you can't use from the damage zone is the Order Elementaria Sanctitude, as that is not an actual unit. But so that gives this card 6 targets, which is still nuts. On top of being able to use your triggers or whatever from the damage zone if you need a guard. Like, this is actually really good. We're playing the 1 Sanctitude. It's almost mandatory. We can actually play Sewer Gallon in this one. This card is banned in Luard because it's so good. Auto rearguard when this unit boosts. If you have more rearguards than your opponent, or if you played an order this turn, this unit gets 5,000 power until the end of that battle, and at the end of that battle, retire this unit, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, choose one from among them, put it into your hand, put the rest of the bottom of the deck. Extremely powerful draw power card, and we are playing a few orders, so getting it off like that helps. We play a lot of rearguards that we want to call out, and we have a lot of draw power to keep on making a board, so this card is really good in the early and mid game. We have our 3 PGs. I just picked this one because it was the first one I saw. Magic of Stimulants Euphoria. This is our grade 1 booster for Liael. This has the same effect as the one for all the faded ones, where during the battle this unit boosted if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard, and with Liael in its card name in this case, this unit gets 5,000 power. Auto rearguard, when this unit boosts a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Liael in its card name, it gets an additional 2,000 power until the end of that battle. And then Soul Blast 1, choose one of your cards with the same name as any of your units from your drop, put it to the bottom of your deck, choose one of your units, and it gets 5,000 power till end of turn. So basically, this is another card to get us cards back into the deck. You basically pick a unit, any unit. If you have another copy of it in your drop, you bottom deck it, and you can give it any unit plus 5k. It doesn't even have to be the one you picked. This card, I almost missed this one. Gragaeon. So this one is actually a Raziel and a Liael support card. Continuous rearguard. If your unit was placed by the ability of your Vanguard with the Divine skill, this turn, this unit gets auto at the end of the battle. This unit boosted, retire this unit, countercharge 1, and it gets 5,000 power. So it's a bigger booster. You're always going to call out a unit because you know that's what Liael does. And it's a countercharger, which the cutter decks counterblast a lot. So this, in both her and Raziel, really helps. And right now Raziel has 2 counterchargers. This deck doesn't counterblast nearly as much as Raziel, but this one countercharger is plenty. We are playing 4 of our cyclers, Divine Sister Biscotti. For anybody that doesn't know what Biscotti does, auto when this unit is placed on Guardian from hand or discarded from hand while riding from the ride deck, counterblast 1 or Energy Blast 3, draw a card. When this unit is placed on rearguard, if you Persona Road this turn, counterblast 1 or Energy Blast 3. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 from among them, put it on top of your deck, and put the rest on the bottom of the deck in any order. If it is not the battle phase, you may call it to the rearguard instead of putting it on top of the deck. So yeah, you can either stack the deck or call it, dude. Alright, this is one of Liael's main support cards. This is probably the best card that she got. I believe this is a triple rare in the set. Sword Saint of Itinerant, Idiris. This card is nuts. Continuous rearguard. During your turn, if your bind zone has a card with the same card name as this unit gets plus 10,000 power. Super easy. When this unit is bound from the rearguard during your turn, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Liael in its card name, Soul Blast 1, draw a card and choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets 5,000 power until end of turn. You swing with this, you swing with Liael, you bind this, the next one comes in with plus 10,000 power, and Liael gains 5,000 power, and you get to draw a card. It's so smooth. And then we've got Divine Knight of Deeply Laid Stratagems, Suggest. This card skyrocketed in price because of this deck. For anybody that doesn't know what it does, continuous rearguard or guardian circle. If your opponent's drive check or damage check reveals a trigger unit, this turn this unit gets plus 10,000 power and plus 10,000 shield. Auto rearguard once per turn. When this unit attacks, look at the top card of your deck, put it to the top of the deck or into the soul. Again, stacking the deck. And then this is an additional part of that effect. You can counterblast 1 and perform all of the following. Choose one of your opponent's 14,000 or greater Vanguards and increase this unit's power by that unit's power until the end of that battle. If they hit a damage trigger, if you end up playing against, I don't know, Griffogila or something like that, it just gains the power of whatever unit it battles. Even if they hit an over trigger, it will add the over trigger power onto him. It's nuts. And then second effect, remove an over trigger from your drop, choose one of your other firmware units, and it gets 15,000 power, including, you know, like the Restood Vanguard, which is what Hikaria actually does in the episode. She re-rides into a new Liael after boosting and powering up the first one, and then uses this to power up the second one. And then she calls out a second one of this, like it's nuts. And then of course we got a staple, Bracing Angel Ladder. For anybody that doesn't know what it does, draw a card, put this card into the soul, and until the end of your opponent's next turn, you get, during your turn, all of your vanguards get plus 5,000 power. All of your rearguards cannot be chosen and cannot be put other than on rearguard by your opponent's card effects. So they can't be retired, they can't be bound, nothing like that. It also, you know, saves you from dominate. And then this one, I want to say is supposed to be a support card for her because of what it does. It literally does the same thing as the Grade 2 in the Ride line. You choose up to a total of 3 normal units with the same card names as any of your units from your drop. You choose up to a total of 3 normal units with the same card names as any of your units from your drop. Put them on the bottom of your deck and in any order, and if you chose 3 or more cards, you get to draw a card. Basically what the Grade 2 does, except you have to actually match, you know, dudes with dudes on your board. So that's the deck. We're gonna try it out, and we're gonna try and get this W. If you guys have any advice, or if you're trying something different, let me know down in the comments. But enough from me, let's go find a game. So the cool thing I've already realized about this deck, I have played a couple games. This deck has a really strong chance going second because of the divine skill. If your opponent's at Grade 3, you can divine skill on your opponent's first Grade 3 ride. So you, like, say you open up with this, I could discard it for one of my rides and set up my divine skill as early as turn 3. So that's really cool. We're actually gonna send this whole hand back and draw a worse hand, a much worse hand. We're gonna draw. That's not bad to have, but the rest of this is not good. We're gonna send him to ride. We're gonna get an energy crest, and we're gonna end. And it looks like we're in the mirror match, which could be problematic. We didn't draw any of our biscottis, which kind of blows. So they're gonna draw a lot more cards than me right now, especially if they get another copy of biscotti. I feel like that was a little unnecessary. I don't think Painkiller is a good idea for this deck because this deck has not a lot of soul support. Oh, it's PG. Okay. Draw. What do I want to discard? We'll discard the trigger in case we have to discard a normal unit. And now we Soul Blast 1. Draw 2. And we're discarding one of those because we want to send that back to deck. And we're just going to go like this. We're hurting for offense, but hopefully we draw into some. You guys can see on the other side, that's what happens when you open up a decent hand. You end up having a ridiculous amount of draw power. I don't know about rushing this early, though. It just is a really, really important card. I'm going to guard that. Thank you. And we'll take that one. Damn, I wanted that. Alright, draw for turn. That sucks because them not having soul basically makes Idris almost useless. Alright. And again, we're just drawing all triggers, man. Sucks, but it is what it is. And then skill, we're gonna send 3 normal units back to deck. We only have exactly 3. This one has to go back to ride deck. And we draw. Yeah, we're not doing okay, guys. We're not doing okay. Right, we're gonna do this. Battle phase. We're gonna swing here. All right, we're gonna swing Vanguard. Skill. Wait, hold on. So that's supposed to have +7 on it. Skill, kind of bless 1, bind. We're gonna call another copy. Now we can actually start drawing cards. Then we're gonna Soul Blast 1 to give the Vanguard 5k. He gains 10k off his own skill, and we get to draw a card. Now, do we want to Soul Blast to give him an additional 5k? Nah. No guard? Okay. Critical word. Heal. Hey, if we can't catch up on draw power, at least we can catch up on trigger luck. Eee, that hurt. Ouch. All that draw power and those two were still in deck. And now we're swinging 40k. I'm perfectly okay with that. Perfectly okay with the way that turn ended up. We took out a really important rear guard. We damaged 2 copies of Liael Amorta, which means they have 1 left in the deck. There's ways to get it back into the deck, but that's tough. They can't even set up the divine skill. Because we have this grade 1 that Soul Blasts, our divine skill is set up just by us using Persona Red. Using the grade 2 skill to send these back to deck and draw a card. Huh? You can choose any number of normal units? Oh my god. I misread the shit out of that this whole time. I didn't realize that card was that good. And that makes Sargon disgusting in this deck. See, I don't like this. I guess because you did Soul, their build Soul Blast a lot, so using Topaz is okay. And now they get to shuffle all their normal units back in, but they just sent back so many normal units, they basically just killed their own trigger luck. Yeah, I guess their top 5 was all triggers. Well, we're going to push really hard next turn. We don't have a great hand for offense, but hopefully we draw into at least 1 more attacking unit. We're going to have to guard Idris if he swings at Idris. Getting a Gargaon is at least good, because it's our counter charge. I'm going to take this. Because they're not going to use its skill. That's fine. We wanted the extra damage. We'll guard that. Alright. Damn it, man. Hopefully we can redraw an attacker now. Not necessarily an attacker. If your unit, it can be another copy. Do we have another copy of this right now? Yeah, we do in the deck. So here's what we'll do. We'll do this. We want to send him to drum. This is kind of tough. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna swing at the Vanguard with 20k, 30k. It's my fault for not adding the 10k right away. Alright. Now this gets +7. So we're gonna go swing, skill, kind of blast 1, bind. We're gonna call another copy. And this was with a pretty dog shit hand. Shuffle. And then skill, we're gonna Soul Blast 1 to draw and gain 5k. He PG'd. So we're gonna go 1, 2. We'll put all of that over here. This also is gonna gain 5k since we have more rear guards, and then divine skill. We're gonna ride over. This guy's actually live, but it has to boost. But it does gain 5k, so that's cool. So now we already have 2 of these guys bound. We don't want to bind all of them because this card's way too good. So instead we're gonna do this. Swing. Another PG. I'm cool with it. Alright. Skill. retire, check top 2. We'll add this guy to hand and bottom deck this. Then we're going to swing, skill, to bind, and call another doggo out. At least I thought, oh, we do have another one. And he gains a 5k. Shuffle. They're not guarding the Vanguard, so 1 drive. Critical. Hey, we stole it. So that right there shows how powerful the combo turns for this deck get. I was on the back foot the entire game, drawing nothing but defense and almost no offense, and the one turn we were able to get offensive, we were able to push so hard that not only do we kill our opponent, but look at how much advantage we gained. We now have 2 PGs in hand. We have a combo plays for next turn. The only card that's really dead in this hand would be the Biscottis, because we need a Persona Ride to get their effect off. But if we draw into another copy of Liael Amorta, then Biscotti becomes live and becomes nuts because we can actually stack the deck. Like, that was a piss poor game. Like, this deck has done way better than that. And it's just, I thought this card was kind of lackluster with its skill, but now having actually played it, this is one of the best Faded 1 decks right now. Alright guys, here's one more look at the deck. Couple things that you could possibly easily change. This order is actually pretty garbage, because it depends on what you have on your board, and you have to send names that are the same, which is kind of annoying. You could easily swap out the fronts for draws, but I like the extra defense because the deck does have a lot of draw power. Like, if there's any issue I've seen with the deck, it's a little bit of a soul issue, but that's still very minor because you only have, what, 1 card that actually soul blasts? Maybe 2? 2. So it's just managing your resources pretty well. But combo turns with this deck are insane. So let me know what you guys think of this deck down in the comments. Let me know what decks you guys are trying. And keep an eye out, because now that we have the 7th Faded 1 card, I'm actually going to do a tier list of the Faded 1 cards and their decks and their power levels, in my opinion. So if you guys want to see that, stay tuned. If you guys want to check me out on social media, those links will be down below. If there's another deck you guys want me to try out, again, let me know down in the comments. That is it from me, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Later.